Hey, Gurudeva Gaurachandra Radhika Radha Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhakta Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Ramo. So, first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupada Dandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Sri Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. So, chapter 16, that is the Jiva possessed by Maya. So, the previous chapter was Vivanamsa, the tattva of the Jiva. So this Vivanamsa Jiva have two conditions, bound and liberated. So the Jiva can never be Tatastha forever, because you have to go here or you have to go there. So when we'll hear today the history of the Jiva when he goes to Maya. Of course, we have our own experience already, still by Tattva, how it works. So Brajanath, hearing all this, then nighttime he cannot sleep because he's thinking also. Also, a problem came. Now he would think, who am I? I'm an atomic particle of light. I am in the effulgent rays of the spiritual sun, Sri Krishna. Although I am atomic by nature, I have my own inherent value, purpose, knowledge, and bliss. I am Chitkan, a spiritual particle. Even though my form is atomic, it is also like Sri Krishna's human-like form. Means I also have arms, legs, nose, eyes, but I cannot realize it. That is my great misfortune. Why am I suffering in this condition? That's the second question of Sanatana Goswami. Why am I suffering? So why did I come in this situation? I'm spiritual by nature. I have no Maya is there in the constitution of the Jiva. Why am I suffering? Why am I in this condition? Tomorrow I will ask Babaji Maharaj about this. So nighttime he had a dream. He was in sannyas. So he became very happy. Soon Krishna will pull me out of material existence. So some students came, just like if someone's coming in sadhu sang, someone's coming to sadhan bhajan, then Maya have 8 hands. So Maya's job is to cover us. And Maya have 2 functions, viksheptatmik and avaranatmik, to pull us away and to cover. Maya trying to pull away into mati, pulling away and then cover it. This is Maya's job. So Maya always tried to pull us away from sadhusang. So what happened that day? Some students came. Oh, Nyaya Panchanya Mahasoy, you are most expert teacher in Nyaya. Please and give us some instructions. We want you to accept you as Guru. Please teach us. But Brajanath avoided. No, I'm following some other path. I cannot teach you. So that same day, one Chatubhuj Mishra, he came with a marriage proposal. There was one man, Vijaynath Bhattacharya. He's from a wealthy family, a very good family. Also, the girl is very attractive. He's not asking any dowry, nothing, no conditions on marriage. Whatever you accept, he's ready for that. So this is Maya giving all temptation to the Jiv. So Vijay's Brajanath's grandmother became very excited because Babushka always wants to see little babushkas. When grandchildren will come, when children will come, because material life, they believe this is the only happiness. What could be greater than sexual happiness? Nothing. So there began some arguments. Brajanath's grandmother, his mother, all the women on one side pushing him for marriage, but he did not want. Also it rained, he could not go for Vaishnav Sangh. So many times someone come in Sadhu Sangh, then Maya tried to take us away. Either we have some bad behavior, bad activity, we've ceased to respect Vaishnavas, we cannot make proper relationship with Vaishnavas, this apparat will eventually push us out of Sadhu Sangh and Vaishnavism. Or you make some offense, material desires come. So Duskriti, Utpat Anat, and Sukriti Utpananat. Some anatas come from previous bad samskar, bad activity, and some samskars come from previous good activity. So these are giving disturbance. So it was also raining, he could not go, plus he was fighting with his family, his mind was disturbed. So, at dawn, he was so much disturbed he could not even eat properly. He went to Gurudev. Oh, I had some trouble, I will tell you about it later. Our relationship with Guru Vaishnava should not be based on our troubles. Guru Vaishnava are not psychiatrists, they are not social managers, they are not doctors, they are not lawyers. So we should try to keep spiritual topics always in the forefront. Otherwise, Guru Vaishnava see we are averse to spiritual topics, then they will cheat us by engaging us in Gramya Katha. Param Gurudev said like that. So, he asked, how did I become entangled in material life? So Babaji smiled and gave 6th verse of Das Moon. Surupar Hena Nijasukaparan Krishna Vimukan Hari Maya Dandan Guna Nigada Jale Kalayati Tata Stule Lingate Dri Vidavarana Klesha Nikare Maha Karmala Ne Nayati Patitam Swarga Nirayo. From his original nature, the Jiva is eternal servant of Krishna, and his Dharma is service to Krishna. However, Bhagavan's bewildering potency Maya punishes the Jiva who are bereft of knowledge of their Swarup. Those Jivas are diverted from Krishna and are now concerned only with their own happiness. She binds them by the ropes of the 3 modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. She covers their Swarup with gross and subtle bodies, and she throws them into the miserable bondage of karma, thus causing them to experience happiness and distress in heaven and the hell. Okay, so we heard also previous chapter, Bhagavan situates himself in the midst of his Jiva Shakti, and presiding over it produces innumerable liberated Jivas for the service of Krishna in Golok. Baladev then expands himself into Vaikuntha as Mahasankarshan. Sankarshan manifests many types of jivas for the service of Paravyomanath Narayan. Then Mahashankarshan expands himself again situating himself in the middle of Maya, and he produces innumerable tatastha jivas. They are of a marginal nature. Okay? Some jivas look towards Bhagavan and then strengthened by the Chit Shakti, they go to Bhagavan. So the liberated souls do not even know Maya exists. They're fully absorbed in seva. Okay? But there are also innumerable jivas who come from Kirdaksai Vishnu, as he glances towards Maya. Because they're very close, some jivas go towards Maya, and some jivas look towards Bhagavan and go towards Bhagavan. Okay? At that time, the jiva is very weak because he does not have spiritual strength. So, most jivas come to Maya. So, we heard some jivas glance towards Bhagavan, the Chit Shakti gives shelter and takes them there and gives them seva. And most jivas unfortunately look towards Maya. No, they want to enjoy, therefore Maya covers them and they enter material existence. So Brajanath says, why is it that some jivas go to the material world and some go to the spiritual world? Because the jiva is like a fish, we heard in the previous chapter, he can see both. But the jiva has no experience. Maya is suffering, or Bhagavan seva is bliss. So why one jiva goes here, another jiva goes there? So Babaji Maharaj says, Krishna's qualities are present in the jiva, but to a minute degree, one of those qualities is independence and desire. So the desire to be independent is also present in the jiva. When the jiva uses independence correctly, he remains inclined towards the seva of Krishna. But when he misuses his independence, he becomes indifferent to Krishna. This is a very bad sign. Against, no, indifferent. Vimukh. He becomes disinclined to Krishna. Who cares about Krishna? At that time, the desire to enjoy arises in the heart. Because he desires to enjoy Maya, then Maya covers him with the first covering Chitta and Ahankar, false ego. What is the false ego? You are part of this world and you can enjoy it. That is Ahankar. Then the jiva is covered with 5 types of ignorance. Okay? Tama, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, and Tamishra. 5 types of ignorance. Okay? This is on page 359. Moha, Tama, no knowledge of the soul. Moha, I am this body. Mahamoha, I will enjoy the madness for material enjoyment. Tamishra, sometimes waves of envy and anger and lust come, then we forget everything. Tamishra. Tamishra means darkness. And the Tamishra, the belief that when I die everything is finished. Okay? So, the jiva's independence, misuse of independence, that is the cause of the jiva's fall down. So Brajanath asks a good question. If Krishna is so merciful, why did he make a jiva that can fall into Maya? And Babaji Maharaj already answered before, because Krishna have everything, completeness and incompleteness. So Krishna can make complete potencies, also incomplete potencies. So that is by tattva, but Babaji answered in another way. Because Krishna is not just Karunamai, full of mercy. Krishna is also Leelamai, full of desire to perform pastimes. This is also one pastime of Krishna, creating the material universes. Right? This is also a pastime of Krishna, going to the material universes in the form of avatars and saving the Jivas. Okay, so these are all pastimes of Krishna. Okay, so these pastimes give bliss. Okay. So having fallen from their constitutional position because of indifference to Krishna, then the Jiva choose that, but Krishna is also very merciful. We have forgotten Krishna, but why Krishna will forget us? Therefore Krishna comes to this world to deliver the Jiva out of his mercy, also desire for pastimes. Even Bhagavan appearing in the Archa Vigraha to deliver Damayanti, this is also one pastime. So, the Jivas who take advantage of Krishna's appearance in this world, they get the supreme benefit. So Brajanath asks why the Jivas should suffer for Krishna's benefit and enjoyment. So Babaji Maharaj, we have to hear this again and again because we're always trying to blame Krishna for something. No? Why Krishna made the Jiva weak? Well, thank you, Krishna, he made the Jiva at all. If Krishna did not make the Jiva, we would not exist. So Krishna makes some Jivas who can misuse. He also makes another type of Jivas who cannot misuse. So everything is there. What choice the Nityasiddha Jivas had? What choice Madhya Yasoda had? No choice. Anyway. So everything. So again and again, we're always looking at some faults in Krishna. After all, what did Krishna do wrong that we left him in the first place? So Brajanath asks, why do I have to suffer for Krishna's enjoyment? We always think of this most Mongalatis. Why do I have to be here and suffer while Krishna enjoys? So, that Krishna gave the Jiva independence, this is Krishna's mercy. After all, material things have no consciousness, no independence, therefore they are useless, worthless. The Jiva has gained control over the material world only because of the quality of consciousness and independence. So that is Krishna's mercy. Right? So, misery is a result of our own choices. And why Krishna gives misery when we suffer so much? Then some thinking comes. Right? Generally, we hit rock bottom. At times, some discrimination comes, some thought comes. Why am I suffering? Why Guru Vaishnava neglecting me? What is my fault? I must have some fault. No? But generally, we don't want to see our fault. We want to see their fault, just like we want to see Bhagavan's fault. So suffering gives rise to a search for happiness. All the jivas running around searching for happiness, this is a result of suffering. And from that desire to find happiness, discrimination comes. What is real happiness? So from discrimination, inquiry arises. Why am I suffering? What is real happiness? Who am I? Where do I come from? Where is God? So from suffering comes discrimination. From discrimination comes inquiry. And from inquiry comes a desire to associate with sadhus. By associating with sadhus, Shraddha comes, faith. When Shraddha is born, he ascends to a higher platform, the path of devotion. So suffering is actually good because it opens the door of all auspiciousness. Okay. Therefore, the jiva must be purified. On the anvil of material existence. You know anvil, Prema? Anvil. What's anvil? Numati. Anvil. When the blacksmith hammers gold, he has one big, what's it called? Nagavalnya. Very nice word. Nagavalnya. So Saraswati Thakur said, this world is like a Navavagna. Navalagna. What is it? Huh? This is a very important word in Russian. The anvil of material existed, hammered by the threefold miseries. Then the jiva, which is like gold, becomes purified. Purified of anyabilas, other desires except the desire to serve Krishna. So, he must be purified because the jiva has become impure. The consciousness has become impure by engaging in sense gratification. So on the anvil of this world, pounded by the threefold miseries, the jiva becomes purified. Like Gurudev would say, I am fire. No? If you come near me, I will burn you. If you are not ready for that, stay very far away from me. Gurudev would say like that. So 100 times burned in the fire of Gurudev's mercy, purified by punishment, 100 times. Therefore, disciple means who accepts that punishment. That is disciple. Gurudev gives some chastisement, you defriend him from Facebook, become angry. This is no symptom of disciple. No symptom. Disciple means who accepts the chastisement. That is disciple. Who becomes happy when chastised. That is the sign of Satshisha, real disciple. Okay. So either you're purified by the hammering of Maya, or you're purified by the hammer of Guru Vaishnava. You have to be purified. But the hammer of Guru Vaishnava full of affection and give good result. Never give bad result. Never. Because sadhu is the embodiment of all auspiciousness. How can their punishment give a bad result? Impossible. So, this hammering gives happiness. Of course, when you're being hammered, it does not seem like happiness. Therefore, should stand with higher devotees than you who have been hammered and who understand nicely the process. Then you will not lose enthusiasm and shraddha. So suffering gives happiness. Therefore, suffering is actually a sign of Bhagavan's mercy. So the suffering the jiva tastes in Krishna's pastimes of creation and the pastimes of deliverance, no, that is Krishna's mercy. Right? Imagine if Krishna gave no suffering, would you just stay in Maya forever? Devoid of real happiness. We don't know what is real happiness because we never tasted Krishna's seva. So we think this world is happiness. That is complete ignorance. Krishna could leave us in that ignorance. But out of his mercy, he tries to extract us. Therefore, Srila Sridhar Maharaj had a beautiful saying. Many beautiful things he said. But he said, Krishna is the controller of everything and he is our best friend. Therefore, everything that happens to us is done for our benefit by our best friend. So he said, don't complain about the environment. The environment is always friendly. We are so foolish, we think Krishna's mercy means I enjoy in this world. That is not Krishna's mercy. So, although Krishna's punishment is seen by the jivas as inauspiciousness, misery and suffering is actually the source of all auspiciousness. Okay, I wish we could remember that. Maybe we should make some t-shirts with this verse written here. So, the Brajanath accepts that jiva's suffering in this world is auspicious. Okay. But in his present state, it's very painful. If someone's getting hammered by Guru Vaishnava, it seems painful. Sometimes we cannot see that because we are being the ones hammered, but others who are not being hammered can see that as mercy. Problem is when we see someone else getting hammered, then we also full of envy. Look, out of envy, we also make fun of that person. That is not good quality. So, question comes from Brajanath. Couldn't Krishna think of some other way, an easier way, no? A less troublesome way to be purified? In other words, couldn't Krishna done something better? Babaji Maharaj. Krishna's Leela is wonderful and full of variegatedness. Understand Prema? Prema's now learning. Variegatedness. Full of variety. Why should you only accept one part of it and not the other? That is not proper. If Krishna is independent and unlimited, then his pastimes also unlimited and independent. Why should you only accept Ras Leela and not the other part? You have to accept everything. No pastime can be rejected if there is variety. Krishna was Rasik Shekhar, so this is also one of his rasas, but we've not discussed that yet. Okay. Therefore, we see even in the pastimes of Krishna, it seems some suffering is there, no? Like Sita, Brahma's pastimes, Krishna's pastimes. Of course, it seems like suffering, but it's not so. So, it is natural to experience some suffering when being controlled by someone else. However, if that suffering gives happiness in the end, it is not really suffering. How can you call it suffering? Like the suffering of separation gives rise to the bliss of meeting again. So it cannot really be said to be suffering at all. The so-called suffering that one undergoes to order to nourish and support Krishna's pastimes is actually a source of happiness. Who can see like that? Only a high-class person. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no? Oh Krishna, you give me happiness, you give me distress, I am yours. Or Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the suffering which I taste in service to Krishna is the highest form of bliss. In Saranagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives all these things. That suffering we go in the association of Guru Vaishnava, that is the highest bliss. Okay, so it is the jiva's independent desire which is giving suffering, nothing else, misuse. No? This is the jiva's fault, it is not Krishna's fault. Okay, how many ways he's trying to blame Krishna? We are saying. So Brajanath asks again another question. What harm if Krishna had not given independence to the jiva? What is the harm? Krishna is omniscient, he knows everything, he knows that jiva will misuse. So Krishna is still responsible for the suffering of the jiva. Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave one nice example. It's not in this book, but Mahatma Gandhi was fighting for the independence of India. So he said to the British, we want freedom. The British said, no, you are immature, you will make mistakes. Mahatma Gandhi said, we want the independence to make mistakes also. Beautiful idea. Freedom means freedom to do wrong also. But that is not mentioned here. Gurudev would say freedom is love. Love means free will. Okay, this is Damodar Maharaj example. What's the difference between raping and marriage? One is free will, one is not free will. It looks the same, but it's not the same. So much difference. Love means free will. So Krishna has given free will, that means love. Loving choice should be there. Spirit Gorgamaj would say in the spiritual world there is no slaves. They are loving servants of Krishna. They want to love Krishna. So Babaji Maharaj says independence is a jewel. The absence of independence, the jiva becomes like a material object devoid of free will and consciousness. The jiva is an atomic spiritual entity. He must have the qualities of spiritual objects. cannot say, I make a jiva with no free will. I make a jiva without independence. Possible. So, the only difference between the jiva and the Krishna is Krishna is the complete spiritual entity, and the jiva is the incomplete spiritual entity. Bhagavan possess all qualities completely, and the jiva possess minutely. So here's paragraph. I'll read the full paragraph because it's quite succinct. The independent jiva is a beloved servant of Krishna, and Krishna is always kind and compassionate towards him. See the misfortune of the jiva as he misuses his independence and becomes attached to Maya. Krishna chases after the jiva, weeping and weeping. He appears in this material world again and again. Gautamaj said, all scripture says you should cry for Krishna, but only the Bhagavatam says Krishna crying for the jiva. See, Krishna, his heart melting is the ocean of compassion. Thus, out of compassion, he manifests his lila here in this world by his achintya shakti. Then he enables the forgetful jivas to see his pastimes. But even after giving so much mercy, the jivas cannot understand. So finally, Krishna took so much mercy, he came as the Guru, and he manifested Navadvip. He personally described and displayed the supreme process of chanting the holy name, forms and pastimes of Krishna. He personally instructs and inspires the jivas how to accept the path of mercy. How can you find fault in Krishna when he is so merciful? His mercy is unlimited, but we do not accept that mercy. That is our misfortune. Some sadhu has said Krishna's mercy is everywhere, like water is everywhere in every atom. No, but we cannot drink it. Just like it's raining and someone's dying of thirst. Why? You have to do this. Jiva also has to do something to get that mercy, to attain that mercy. When Sarup went to Vaikuntha finally, when Gopakumar went to Golok Vrindavan, he got a coward boy, his coward boy form. Then he's looking, where am I? Then he saw everyone, but he couldn't understand. Everyone here is tasting supreme bliss or supreme suffering. That is prema. So he asked a few people, where's Krishna? But no one answered him. Oh, Krishna's about to go cow grazing. So Gopakumar ran there. He saw Krishna on the path, surrounded by the boys with the cows behind. So Gopakumar, he saw Krishna, he fell unconscious, and Krishna also fell unconscious. Then the boys didn't know, who is this new boy? Oh, it must be a demon. Look, now Krishna's unconscious and Krishna's crying. So Baladev came to consciousness. Baladev is omniscient. No, he understood this jiva just got liberation, now entered Krishna Lila. So Baladev took the boy, Gopakumar's hand, and did like that to Krishna. Then Krishna gave a speech, how could you leave me? For so many millions of years I'm weeping, searching for you. Srila Sridhar Maharaj wrote a book, Loving Search for the Lost Servant. Krishna said, so many times I came for you, so many incarnations I came. Now what Krishna not give us? He gave us Tulsi, he gave us Ganga, he gave us all scriptures, he gave us Ekadasi. What Krishna not gave us? He said, I came many times, but you never listened. No matter how many scriptures I gave, no matter how many incarnations, you always avoided me. So finally, Krishna said, I had to break all the rules of the scriptures. I myself had to come as Guru. Guru is what? Also Krishna's Sarup. So Krishna chasing us, always chasing us. Guru Vaishnava always chasing. They're not trying to chase us away. Never think like that. Never think, even in dreams, they are trying to chase me away. That is stupid. They're trying to get rid of your bad qualities. That is all. So Guru Vaishnava always full of mercy. We cannot understand that mercy. We cannot understand what is mercy of Guru Vaishnava because their mercy is transcendental. We have no understanding of transcendental reality. What we understand what they're trying to give? Nothing. We think their mercy means I live very happily and enjoy in this world. We think that is their mercy. That is not their mercy. So, we do not accept Krishna's mercy, that is still our fault. Like the owl, he stays in the cave and complains, why the sun not come here? I never seen the sun. Owl also has to go outside, then he can see, no? So Brajnath again, another way he's trying to find. Then Maya is the cause of our suffering. Right? It's Bhagavan's cause, Bhagavan, why he made the jiva who can fall down. If Bhagavan is omniscient, he knows we'd fall down. Why he didn't make us in another way? Then hearing suffering is mercy, he could have done something else. No. Then last roll of the dice. Then Maya must be to blame. Maya is the cause of our suffering. Maya is the cause of misfortune. Then Babaji said, what is the fault of Maya? She is the transformation of Krishna's Sarup Shakti. Transformation, like a reflection. Transformation. The Jivas were not qualified, she makes them qualified. Maya is Krishna's maidservant. In order to purify the Jivas who have turned away from Krishna, she punishes them, giving the appropriate therapy, and purifies them. Right, Inamati? Getting therapy and medicine, accepting the medicine or running away from the medicine. Huh? Is it not good? Don't run away because the ocean of Maya is unlimited. Don't go there. Don't misunderstand. They're not trying to drive you away. They're trying to purify us. Don't misunderstand. Gurudev said, how many millions of times Gurudev talked with us with affection, and one time for our benefit he give us some chastisement or neglect us, and we think, what is this? I'm leaving and going away. This is the Jiva's intelligence. No? That's why Maharaj says again and again to Didi, don't keep people here long time. After some time, they just see the material vision and make aparad and lose their bhakti. That's why Gurudev would not keep people with him. Always, you go back to your country, you go back and preach. You stay a long time, you get material vision and you make aparad. Unless very careful, very careful. Bando moe savadhanamati, very careful. So, this is Krishna purifying the jiva. So Maya becomes like a witch. Pisachi paila yeta mata chanahoy. The lap of the witch of Maya. We are millions of lifetimes sleeping on the lap of the witch of Maya. And we think, very nice bed. When Mahaprabhu has come, Jeev Jago, wake up, get off that bed. The material world is like a jail, and Maya is like superintendent. She punishes the jivas who are vimukh of Krishna, indifferent to Krishna. The king constructs a prison for the benefit of the souls, for the benefit of the subjects. No? Maharaj says that's why high-class person never punish to give suffering, they punish to change. So the jail is constructed by the king for the benefit of the citizens, and he has appointed Maya as the custodian. So Brajnath, okay, Maya cannot be blamed also. So Brajnath, if this world is the prison and Maya is the superintendent, what are the chains? The Babaji chains are the three modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So how can Maya, which is unconscious, matter, material things, how can matter bind the spiritually superior conscious jiva? It's impossible, right? How, right? A woman's body, what is it? Stool and urine. Or a man's body, stool and urine with a few hairs and this and that. How can that bind the jiva, who is the apara shakti? How can the inferior potency bind the superior potency? It's impossible. Gautam said, but Krishna makes impossible possible for his lila. So we heard the jiva actually is never bound by Maya, because Maya have no power to bind. But the jiva's attachment to Maya, that is the cause of suffering. Like Gurudev gave the example, Maharaj also tells the example of the donkeys, right? Man had 5, 6 donkeys, but he forgot the rope to bind them. So he asked one sadhu, sadhu said, just do like this with some imaginary rope and the donkey will stay still. So Sattva, Raja, Tama have no power to bind the jiva, right Maya? Maya, Prema? Then why we're bound? Have no power to bind. That is a chintya. Like the monkey, the example given, the monkey grabbing the chickpeas from the pot. What is the cause of his bondage? The monkey shouting, the pot's got me, the pot's got me, the chickpeas got me. No. The monkey's own greed has got him. Like Gurudev said, some beautiful girl walks past, we become attracted. Is it her fault? It's our fault. Anyway. So, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. The object of this world cannot bind the jiva. Actually, Gurudev told another example. One time the Guru was explaining that Maya cannot really bind the jiva, but the jiva's attachment binds himself. The disciple could not understand, so Gurudev went to the forest and held a tree branch above his head. Actually, Gautam Maharaj would tell this story. He held a tree branch, just a dead tree branch. He picked up and put, help me, like that. The disciple came running, Gurudev, help me, I'm going to fall. Gurudev, what you're doing? There's no tree, you'll not fall, you're on the ground. Why you think you're about to fall? Why you think you're hanging from a branch? It's not true. Then Gurudev said, in the same way, Maya's got me. No, we are the one grabbing Maya. So anyway, 3 egos are there. Sattvic ego, when one is controlled predominantly by sattva gun, becomes a demigod. When he has a rajasic ego, mainly he stays in earth planet. And when become mad to taste enjoyment, that is tamasic hankar, then he's bound. Okay, what type of activities do the prisoners do? Okay, the activities are 2 types, karma and vikarma. Okay, so in the prison, what do the prisoners do? Like in the prison, you have kitchen sections, some prisoners cooking, some prisoners in the workshop, some prisoners cleaning. So what are the 2 activities that the prisoners do? So Babaji Maharaj says 2 main ones. The first is sup karma, auspicious karma. What is that? Material body have 6 changes: birth, existence, growth, producing babies, offspring, declining, and death. Like a tree takes birth, exists, grows, produces seed, decline, and dies. Humans, cats, fish, everyone have these 6 changes. So, the jivas of this world then suffer because they have a material body, they identify with the body, therefore they suffer thirst, hunger, disease, desire, sleep, all these things. So, he has a good chance he's born in Varnashram. This is sup karma. Right? Then he performs the 10 type of samskars, like 10. Even before the child's placed in the womb, there's one samskar. I forget what it's called. Jaiva-Dharma samskar. Even before sex life, husband and wife do so many mantras, so much Vaishnava seva, then mind is purified, then high class soul comes. So Jaiva-Dharma samskar, then child is born, cutting the navel cord, then piercing of the ears, shaving of the head, giving name, then some upanayan, a few others, marriage, also one, and finally shraddha, then death, 10 samskars. Okay. So by doing the 10 samskars, and there's 18 other sacrifices you do, he does this so he can take birth in a high Brahminical family. Then doing all these satkarmas in a Brahminical family can go to the heavenly planets. Right? Not so easy to go to the heavenly planets. Therefore, karmi bhyo, Rupa Goswami said, karmi bhyo parato hari priyate pratyo jnane vimukta jnaninas. The karmis are very dear to Krishna. How many karmis say karmi, but who's a real karmi doing 10 samskars and day and night, all this? Very rare. Anyway, then he goes to the higher planets. This is called subkarma. Then the other path, sinful activity. The jivas who do good activity go to the higher planets. They enjoy there. Then again, when their sukriti is finished, they again take birth in the earth planet as human being. But tell me about the second type. Babaji Maharaj says, the second type, that is like praying. The second type. The second type is bound by Maya. They perform impious activity because of the suffering of the deficiencies of the material body, hunger, thirst, desire for a place, desire for some enjoyment. To minimize these sufferings, they perform sinful activities. Okay? Right? So to enjoy, he works hard to earn money to maintain wife and children. He collects warm clothes to protect himself from heat. He needs a wife. He marries to satisfy desires. He works hard like a donkey. God, our parents, God bless them, how hard they're working. How hard. He takes medicine to cure disease. He fights with others to protect his assets. He engages in sinful activities because he is controlled by lust, greed, anger, enviousness, madness, and illusion. Thus, he wastes his whole life in this and then goes to hell. Okay, so these are the two activities of the jivas, pious and impious. So Brajanath asks then, why Krishna covered with a gross body? A subtle body would be enough. Babaji says no, because subtle body can desire, but you can only fulfill the desire with a gross body. So you need two coverings, the subtle body and the gross body. Okay. What about Mimamsa? Anyway, Babaji Maharaj rejects Mimamsa as demonic, like atheistic. Mimamsa believe karma is everything. Even if there is a God, he only gives the result according to karma. So Babaji rejects that. So this material existence continues until the jiva turns to Krishna. He is very patient. How patient is Krishna? Then Brajanath asks, why you said karma is beginningless? No? Why not say eternal? Because karma can't, eternal means no beginning, no end, but the cycle of karma can end when the jiva turns to Krishna. Okay. So the root of karma is ignorance. When the jiva turns away from Krishna, so ignorance has a, karma has a beginning. What's the beginning? Ignorance. But this desire of the jiva to turn away from Krishna happens beyond the material time in the Tatastha region. So when he began karma, that is beyond time without beginning. That's why it says karma is beginningless, but it is not endless. It has an end. When the jiva turns to Bhagavan, then it's also finished. So what is the difference between Maya and Avidya? Okay, so Maya pertains to this world, and Avidya pertains to the jiva. Okay. just check my notes because if we read the whole thing, it takes a while. So Maya has two aspects, pradhan and avidya. Pradhan refers to the objects of this world. The ingredients of this world is one aspect of Maya called pradhan. And what's the second aspect, Prema? If you're going to sit in class, might as well hear class. What are the two aspects of Maya, Prema? I've said it 3 times already. What are they? Pradhan and avidya. Pradhan refers to this world, and avidya refers to the jiva. It's all discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think Adi Lila chapter 7, the Tattva Advaitacharya. Why Bhagavan have 2 forms, Naimitic and Upadan Karan, Mahavishnu and Advaitacharya. This all that Tattva all discussed there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So all this is not separate from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, so Babaji Maharaj gives a very condensed process of creation of the material ingredients. Okay, so try to hear quickly. So, Pradhan produces Mul Prakriti. Pradhana, the name of Pradhan is Mul Prakriti, the root of material existence, unmanifest, agitated by the time factor. Then Prakriti produces the ingredients of this world. So first she produces the Mahatattva. So Mahatattva means manifest, and Pradhan means unmanifest. In one stage, everything rests inside the body of Mahavishnu. Maya is there, but unmanifest. And when it comes out, at the time of the creation again, that is called Mahatattva. So the first, Mahatattva then agitated produces Ahankar, false ego, the first material ingredient. Why not coming on time? Just coming for eating. If you don't come for class, you're not allowed to take breakfast here. The only reason, today is a special day. Today is Dwadasi. Okay, so, anyway, so Mahatattva become agitated, produce Ahankar. Ahankar then produces space, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. Okay, so from that produce all the ingredients. Okay, so let me just catch up with this. So then the 5 sense objects are created: form, smell, taste, touch, and sound. Okay, so time then, that is all dealing with Pradhan, time agitating Pradhan to produce the Mahatattva. Then time agitates the second function of Maya called avidya. And avidya produces the object of the senses, form, smell, taste, sound, etc. So when the second feature of Prakriti called avidya is agitated, then she produces karma and jnana also. Therefore, when avidya is agitated, she produces the 5 karmindriya and the 5 jnanindriya, the senses of work and the senses of activity. So from that comes pran and all the other ingredients. No? So there are 3 types of ahankar: sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. From the sattvic ahankar produce the 10 material ingredients, the 10 senses. The material elements, the 8 material elements produced from sattvic ahankar. The 10 objects of the senses, the 10 objects of the senses come from the rajasic ahankar. No? And tamasic ahankar produces something else anyway, not so easy to understand. So the eyes, nose, tongue, skin, and 5 senses, all produced from the function of Maya called avidya. So Then the mind, but all this cannot function without the jiva. So the anu chaitanya, the mind, not the atomic consciousness impregnated into the womb of Maya by the glands of Mahavishnu. Then by the desire of Bhagavan, everything's set into motion. Without the desire of Bhagavan, Maya cannot do anything. So Bhagavan's desire, also, therefore Bhagavan is called the ingredient, he is called the efficient cause, and that everything else is the efficient cause. Two causes of creation. So Bhagavan also have two forms, one dominating over the Prakriti, that is Mahavishnu, and one dominating over the Avidya or the Upadan Karan. All this is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thus, conclusion, 24 ingredients, some produced from the Avidya function of Maya, some produced from the Prakriti function of Maya. 24 ingredients. What are they, Malachi? Yes. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, ahankar, chitta, intelligence, and mind. Okay, how many? 9. The 5 Karmendriyas, senses of activity, speech, digestion, hands and legs, anus, genital. With these 5 senses we perform action. The 5 Gyanendriyas, seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, touch. So 9 and 10 is 19. 9 and 10 is 19. And what else we have? Earth, water, 5. 5 sense objects, can't forget them. Form, smell, taste, sound, touch. So the 5 Indriya beside the object of the senses, 5 and 19 make 24. But none of this can work without the jiva, so the jiva is a 25th. And of course, none of these can do anything without the function of the Paramatma, who control and regulate matter. So 26 elements in the creation. Okay, this is all from second canto, Bhagavatam. If you read second canto, this is all described step by step, little difficult to understand. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave the whole second canto in one paragraph. So, how the jiva pervade the body, Babaji Maharaj gave the example. Like one piece of sandalwood pervade the whole body. Like one sun illuminate the whole universe, the soul in the heart illuminate the entire gross and subtle body with consciousness. So Babaji, conclusion is the jiva is the instrumental cause. He performs karma, and Bhagavan is the naimitic karan, efficient cause. Guru Maharaj gives an example. Prisoner does a crime, he goes to the court. The prisoner is the ingredient cause because he did the crime, and who gives the result? The judge. The judge is the naimitic karan. So jiva is the one doer, one cause, but jiva is not the only cause. There is also Bhagavan. Bhagavad Gita describes all these things. 5 ingredients of action. The jiva is only one, Bhagavan is only one. If you have no proper, for example, I want to win the Olympics, 100 meters, is it possible as Damodar Maharaj? So desire may be there, Paramatma there, but you don't have the body or the senses to perform the activity, cannot be successful. You have no karma, you cannot do it also. So 5 ingredients of action. Jiva is only one and Bhagavan is only one. No? Prakriti is another, karma is another, and this body is another. So how many types of Bada Jivas are there? 5 types of Bada Jiva. Okay, what are they? Acharya Chetana, when the jiva is fully covered by Maya, fully covered by avidya, fully covered. Example, sometime the jiva in stone, in mountain, in gemstone. When Gaugamaj went to South Africa, he was explaining on national television the 5 levels of consciousness. He said, like mountain. Then it's pretty funny actually. Then the interviewer, he was a black man. He was going, what? What? Say again? Mountains have consciousness? Then Gaugamas, yes, yes, began shouting. Before mountains had wings, they used to fly. But Indra became angry, he cut off their wings. Now they just stay in one place. But consciousness is there. So the poor black man, poor him, he was like, what? Mountains flying? Then Gaugamas, what? Yes! It says so in the Vedas. You must accept. You must accept. So, some jiva fully covered consciousness, like mountains, rocks, stones. It said, Mahaprabhu said it to Ramananda Roy, when Mahaprabhu asks, Mukti Mukti Vansha Kahaduargati, what is the destination of those who desire material enjoyment and those who desire liberation? Then Ramananda Roy answered, Deva Deyas Tavara Janmai Duargati. Those who worship the demigods become demigods, and those who desire liberation become stones. Like Buddhists. Like Buddhists' whole desire is to become what? Zero? Then become what could be more zero than a stone? No relations, no feelings, no suffering, nothing. So, anyway, I don't want to get too much into this, but mountains also take birth. They also grow. They also produce little mountains. They also decline. They also die. They live millions of years, but life is there also. So, Achari Chaitana, covered consciousness. Sankulit Chaitana, Sankulit, budding consciousness like cats and dogs. Plants, sorry, that means plants. Cats and dogs. Plants also, Achari Chaitana, plants also have consciousness more than mountains. Still a little difficult to understand. So Sankulit Chaitana means budding consciousness, like cat and dog. Cat and dogs talk. Cat and dogs. Here, Babaji Maharaj described monkeys feel injustice. Injustice. If you do something wrong to a monkey, he knows. Anyway, if you torture a monkey also, what did I do? So monkeys, dogs, cats, they have love, they have enmity, they have feelings of enmity towards each other, they have loving affection, they have hopes, they have desires, they can move, they can communicate. This is Sankulita Chetana, budding conscious. Mukhalita Chetana, blossoming consciousness. Mukhalita means 5 type of human. The barbarian, the immoral atheist, barbarian, immoral atheist. Now many people, they have suit and tie, but immoral atheist, there's no God, what I like, I do that. Immoral atheists. So immoral atheists, moral theists like Buddhists, they believe in moral principles but don't believe in God. So immoral atheists, moral atheists, moral theists, those who believe in God but also have moral principles, that is the followers of Varnashram. Like you see many followers of other religions, I believe in God, I follow some principles, but they're killing animals, they're doing many things. So not fully blossomed moral theists. Moral theists means who gets a chance for Varnashram. So anyway, 5 types of humans: barbarian, immoral atheist, moral atheist, the moral theist, 1 or 2 others are there. Yes, so that is all Mukhalita Chaitana. Then finally, someone who becomes attracted to devotion, the Sadhan Bhakta. The Sadhan Bhakta is a 4th stage of human life. Then finally, Bhav Bhakti. When he achieves Bhav Bhakti, that is called Vikasit Chaitanya, and Purna Vikasit Chaitanya when he achieves Prema Bhakti. So 5 type of jivas in material bodies. Okay. Conditioned jivas with bodies fall into 3 categories. Generally, the human race can be divided into 5 groups: immoral atheists. In Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he puts barbarians there as one extra. Immoral atheists, moral theists, sadhan bhakti, and bhav bhakti. So Brajanath asked, how long do bhav bhaktis stay in Maya? How long they stay? I'll answer the question the day after tomorrow. In the 7th chapter, in the 7th Dasmul Shiksha. Okay, so please everyone read again, chapter 16. So just so it goes in. Okay, this chapter deals with the Maya, the Jiva captured by Maya, or the Jiva who has captured Maya. In chapter 17, the Jiva is free from Maya. 2 types of souls, the liberated and conditioned. So today, anyway, before the class, day after tomorrow, chapter 17, the Jiva is free from Maya. That is Saturday, right? My Saturday. Okay, wow, we're really getting through this. So today is the end of, soon, by next month, we would have finished almost the whole Jaiva-Dharma. So don't be lazy, try and keep up with everything. Don't be lazy, try and keep up. Then you'll feel inspired, you feel taste, you feel enthusiasm. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, who studies Jaiva-Dharma will definitely have the mood, I am Rupanuga. So the result of studying Jaiva-Dharma is not some small thing. Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Go Premanandi. Okay, finally.